Hey everyone, welcome back. I've got the second half of the Dragon's Maze box here I'm going to be opening. For those keeping score at home, just go through the rares really quick from the first half of the box. I had 3 Mythics: Legion's Initiative, Deathbridge Chant, and Intellect, along with a couple notable rares here: Uruk Thar, Advent of the Worm, Render Silent, and then the one Shockland, Stomping Ground. And I'll just go through the rest of these really quick. Camera. And then I also had 4 foils in the first half of the box: War Physique, Blaze Commando, Mind Static, and then Azorius Cluestone. I had 5, and Mirko as the rare foil. So hoping to pick a few more foils out of here and a few more Mythics. Probably, I'd assume maybe one more Shockland, but that would be, if I get that, I'd be happy. So right into pack 19 here. Sin Collector's our first uncommon. Jilin Sphinx, Bred for the Hunt, and Sire of Insanity. So that's a double from earlier in the pack, or the box. But we do have another Shockland here, a Grand Tomb. It's a black-green version from Return to Ravnica, and a tip card. So right out of the box we run into that second shock, so that's great. And don't assume that we get any more than that. So pardon me while I just organize the cards here afterwards. Alright, pack 20. So there's another foil hiding back there. Feral Animist, Unflinching Courage, Flux Charger, and Trait Doctrine. So another double here, and a Simic Guildgate. So we're going to get 2 with that Simic Guildgate foil and a regular Simic Guildgate. So that's cool. So one more foil to add to the pile. A duplicate rare from the box, Guildgate, and a bird flying creature token. 21. So you'll see the tip card for Modern Masters. It's been released, and back and forth in the prices there, but they're settling around $250. I've heard a few people talk about not wanting to pick those up under or over 200, but I think they're probably worth it up to maybe 230, 240. But that would be a deal right now because they're not going for much less than that. First uncommon is Ascended Lawmage, Species Gorger, War Leader's Helix, and Council of the Absolute is our Mythic, actually. So good pull here. And then Azorius Guildgate Knight token. '22. Mutant's Prey. Another Ascended Lawmage, Maw of the Obsidian, Crisis Incubation. Sign of Vidugazi. It's our rare. It's a 4/4, 4/5. I don't know if I've gotten one of these yet, so I'll just read off the text here. When this guy enters the battlefield, if you cast it from your hand, put a 1/1 white bird creature token with flying onto the battlefield, then populate, which means to put a copy of the token on the battlefield that's a copy of a creature token you control. So, really cool card. You get a lot of value for your 5 mana with a 4/4. Another foil, Fighter Burst, and it is a Guildgate Soldier token. Pack 23. Fuse card here, split card, Alive and Well. Bronzebeak Moa, Gleam of Battle, and Render Silent, one of the better rares here. It's just a counterspell that enforces a change in the state of the game where its controller can't cast any more spells this turn. So that's cool. And then Gruul Guildgate and a Centaur token. So that is another duplicate from earlier in the box. So we've got a lot of similar rares so far. That's the 24 here. Try to keep moving for you. Tristani Summoner, Blast of Genius, Debt to the Deathless, Progenitor Mimic. So 4 generic, 1 green, 1 blue, shapeshifter creature with a 0/0 initial power and toughness. You may have this card enter the battlefield as a copy of any creature on the battlefield except it gains at the beginning of your upkeep. If this creature isn't a token, put a token onto the battlefield that's a copy of this creature. So there are some good combinations to use with this card, but overall great card, and it's a Mythic, so it's another good pull. I forget the count of Mythics we're up to, but we have several in this booster box so far. I'm happy to see those. And a Simic Guildgate tip card, or advert card. 25 or so in here. Scabclan Giant, Toil and Trouble, Debt to the Deathless, Priorweld Shaman. It's a 3/1 for 3 with Blood Rush of cost of 1 generic, 1 red. Its Blood Rush benefit is +3/+1. And then whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, if this card is in your graveyard, you may pay 3 generic mana. If you do, return Priorweld Shaman to your hand. So another good rare here. And another foil. So we got a lot of foil value here. Beautiful Mage, it's a common, but foil nonetheless. Gold Guard, Guildgate, and an advert. Boros Mastiff. I think the card I was referring to in my previous videos was the Hounds of Konda, which is the 2/2 for 1 legendary creature from Kamigawa. It's not quite the same there, but the battalion makes them a lot stronger than just the 2-cost 2/2 would be. Haunter of Nightvale, Goblin Test Pilot, and Putrefy. Good card there. And a Possibility Storm. Those are rare. Selesnya Guildgate, advert. Restore the Peace, Gleam of Battle, Turn and Burn, and a rare Plasm Capture. This is an instant spell with 2 green, 2 blue cost on it, and counter target spell at the beginning of your next pre-combat main phase. Add X mana in any combination of colors to your mana pool, where X is that spell's converted mana cost. So you're playing 2 extra green on top of what you would pay for a counter spell to get that mana added to your mana pool, so that's cool. Temiro Guildgate and a tip card. Alright. Armed and Dangerous, Gruul War Chant, Give and Take, and Ready and Willing is our rare. It's a Selesnya Orzhov fuse card here. Selesnya's side is a 1 generic, 1 green, 1 white. Creatures you control are indestructible this turn. Untap each creature you control. So great after you've already went all in with your creatures and your opponent's expecting you to go to be unblockable or not have any creatures to block, and you pull that out. And the willing portion is the Orzhov. It's a 1 generic, 1 green, 1 white, 1 black. Creatures you control gain Death Touch and Lifelink until end of turn. So that's really the added bonus if you have the mana to pay for it. But Ready being probably the more prevalent card there. Gruul Guildgate and tip card. So So. Alright, getting down to the last few packs here. Live and Well, Blaze Commando, Flux Charger, Gaze of Granite. It's I hear a lot of people call it granite. Gorgon looking babe there. For X generic and 2 blacks and a green, you get to destroy each non-land permanent with converted mana cost of X or less. So good rare here. This is where Skill Gate Soldier token. So kind of slowed down here with the good stuff in this box, but definitely some value here still. Good to see I pulled, I think, at least 2 Putrefies, which, at the time was filming are probably worth about 50 cents. Not a huge card, but still not bad for an uncommon. Gruul War Chant, Far and Away, Down and Dirty, Savage-Born Hydra. This is a Hydra creature token, or Hydra creature, that has double strike, and when it enters the battlefield with X +1/+1 counters on it, and then for 1 generic, 1 hybrid green and red, put a +1/+1 counter on Savage-Born Hydra, activate this ability at the only time you can cast a sorcery, so you can pump it up during your turn, but it stays on there, which is cool. And the casting cost is X generic, 1 red, 1 green. Golgari Guildgate, and a Rhino token. That's neat. I haven't seen too many of those. Six left. Far and Away, Carnage Gladiator, Dip to the Deathless, and a Melik. This is a 2/4 legendary weird wizard for 4 generic, 1 blue, 1 red. And you play with the top card of your library revealed. You may cast the top card of your library if it's an instant or sorcery card. Whenever you cast an instant and sorcery spell from your library, copy it. You may choose new targets for the copy. So it really just opens your hand up into an additional card and allows you to cast it from your top of your library with some added benefits here. And with the copy function, it's certainly valuable. So good rare. Rakdos Guildgate, tip card. This one right here. Showstopper, Bread for the Hut, Turn and Burn, and Exava. She is a 3/3 human cleric legendary creature for 4 with first strike and haste, unleash, and then each other creature you control with +1/+1 counter on it has haste. So great if you've got a counter type deck. Or Skullgate Knight token. Right, 4 left here. Boris Mastiff, Sheen of Fist Blades, Reverse Blades, good card. Riot Control, Punish the Enemy. And Showstopper's our first uncommon. Woodlock Crawler, Roasted Gorgon. Some of these Gorgon views are pretty good looking there. And our rare is Obsidian's Aid, which is a sorcery card for 5 mana. Return target permanent card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Rakdos Guildgate, and tip card. Down to the last 3 here. So nothing, I don't think I pulled any, I only pulled 1 rare foil, and you get, 1 to 2 per box, so it's not too bad. But definitely cool to get the 2 Shocklands, because that's seems like it's above average for Dragon's Maze. Although technically it's just spot on. Woodlock Crawler again. Spike Jester. I haven't gone over this one yet, recently anyway. This is a 3/1 with haste for 2 mana, so good card to get out there quickly. Good second turn, especially if you have the black and red. Blast of Genius, and then Notion Thief is our rare. This is a 3/1 creature with flash for 4. If an opponent would draw a card except for the first one he or she draws in each of his or her draw steps, instead that player skips that draw and you draw a card. So great shift in card advantage there. Is a Guild Gate type card. Thanks for watching this video, guys. I know a few of you have subscribed so far. I appreciate anyone else that comes on and subscribes in addition. I also appreciate if you like and comment on any of the videos and let me know if you like anything I'm doing or if you'd rather see something else or other types of openings. I'd be happy to see what I can do. Unflinching Courage is our first uncommon here. Profit and Loss, and Species Gorger. Emeritandris is our rare. This is a 5/7. Hang on one second here. This is a 5/7 for 7, but she prevents all damage that would be dealt to creature tokens you control. This is great in that Selesnya event deck. Orzhov Guildgate Spirit creature token. Alright, last pack. Bronzebeak Moa. Putrefy. So I think I got 3 out of this box. That's great. Down and Dirty. And our last rare is Breaking and Entering. I think this is a repeat from earlier in the box. Breaking Portion is a sorcery. Target creature puts the top 8 cards of his or her library into his or her graveyard for 1 blue, 1 black. And the entering portion, also a sorcery, is that you put a creature card from the graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. It gains haste until end of turn for a 6-drop. So pretty good value there on the breaking part. If you can afford the entering, certainly take advantage of it, especially if they discard something very, very nice that you want to put into play. And, Possibility Storm foil. So we did get a second foil rare in the box, so that's great. This is a 5-drop enchantment that whenever a player casts a spell from his or her hand, that player exiles it, then exiles cards from the top of his or her library until he or she exiles a card that shares a card type with it. That player must cast that card without paying its mana cost, or they may cast that card without paying its mana cost. Then he or she puts all cards exiled with Possibility Storm on the bottom of his or her library in a random order. So, that really shakes things up in the game state, and it certainly could benefit you as much as it does your opponent. It kind of just changes the way you're going to run the game. Boris Guildgate and tip card. So, thanks again for watching. We got a decent amount of foils here overall. I'll just do a quick recap. 2, 3, 4, 5, 9 foils, 2 of which were rares. And then overall, just go back through these rares we got in this half of the box. I'm going to throw them all. Breaking and Entering, Emera, Notion Thief, Obstinat's Aid, Exava, Melik, Savageborn Hydra, Mythic, Gaze of Granite, Ready and Willing, Plasma Capture, Possibility Storm. So we had this guy earlier. Priorwell Shaman, Progenic Mimic is another Mythic. Render Silent, Council of the Absolutes, another Mythic. Trait Doctoring, Sire of Insanity, and Overgrown Tomb. Reap Intellect, Deadbridge Chant, Legion's Initiative were the Mythics from the first half of the pack, or first half of the box. We had Rurik Thar, Advent of the Worm, another Render Silent. Stomping Ground was our first Shockland pull. We had a Dragon Shift in there, Catch Release, another Sire of Insanity, Flesh and Blood, Tesa, Blood Scrivener, Varel, Melik, because we had him twice as well. Beck and Call, Zerta Ancient. Breaking and Entering, we did have that early in the box. And then Trade Doctoring. So we probably had about, 5 or 6 doubles in there. And then overall 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mythics. So I think if you get them, you're supposed to get them every 4th pack, right, or every 5th pack. So we averaged 1 every 6th pack. But overall, not bad. Good to see the shocklands and good load of foils here. So thanks for watching. Please hit like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks a lot.